Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get underway with our final game of today. I am Andrew Spuddington, Spurrier. This is Oisin, Blood Penguin, Molloy. And it's going to be the losers bracket first round, second game. Playing Ducks
versus Spartiate game.
Yes, Spartiate. That was the one.
Yes,
Sparta.
We'll get there eventually.
One day.
One
When they're out of the tournament, I'll get there. So, should be starting up pretty soon. I think we've got all the players in the lobby roughly on time, which is very nice
change.
To see.
Yeah, it's a nice change. Everything seems to be going
smoothly.
smoothly.
Are you accusing our players of being non-punctual?
I swear I'm not. It's just
this guy. But Champions Select underway. All the players in, as we said. So, honestly, both these teams earlier, not the most impressive games. I mean, Spartiate nearly took NIP with an interesting strategy, but bad decision-making through the game. And Playing Ducks just rolled over and died to SK Prime.
Yes, exactly. They kind of, rather than playing Ducks, playing dead. But, you know, these mid-lane bans actually just look quickly coming in. Syndra, you could feel the face palms on this Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Cassidy, Syndra, Oriana, and Elise already banned out. Elise wouldn't have been. Did we see that banned out against Spartiate Gaming earlier today? Was that also banned out? I can't recall.
I also can't recall, so I'm going to say no.
When in doubt, say no.
On the grounds that Elise is not generally rated very, very highly. It's going to be interesting to see whether they choose to ban out the Nunu. That would potentially lock out this entire strategy that we saw from Spartiate earlier. Maokai could be left open.
Sean's
but of course
played
this time
Nunu
they could
earlier.
first.
That's
yes.
what he did. I don't know if it was banned. So
yeah, he certainly played Nunu earlier.
Yes.
and that was
that was the comp.
Tryndamere, Tristana, Corki, and yeah, so they had very heavy pushing and nearly succeeded. But Playing Ducks have opted to leave the Maokai open. Does every team think they can count? Ooh, hey,
Ooh.
Hello,
Maybe, just maybe.
I'm not.
They prioritized the Tristana ban, but the other team also prioritized Nidalee. So
Right.
that says a little bit about the teams, what they're actually looking for.
I think this is a champion pool thing. I don't think Maokai really actually fits Spontex's style. He likes to play these carry-orientated top laners. We saw him playing Tryndamere earlier, which is about as carry-oriented as you can get. Nidalee, very
Very
not
similar.
picking Tryndamere.
Oh,
I
don't think
they
so.
are neither.
Yeah, no.
I don't think they're either. I mean, Tryndamere mid is actually quite funny. 'Cause you can.
Hey man,
you
AP
can
Tryndamere, do you remember that?
do not remind me of AP Tryndamere. That was the most unpleasant thing. But you could run Tryndamere mid can give you at level 2. It's funny. He crits you very, very hard and nobody runs any armor. But yeah, so
I highly doubt it.
yeah.
Like, we don't really see Nidalee mid anymore. We don't really see Tryndamere jungle. We do see a Nivea, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, it's plausible. It might work okay, actually, against the Playing Ducks setup right here, since it would enable them some reasonably decent disengaging kiting potential and stalling against wave clear. But at the moment, they're actually hovering over Zyra, so we'll see if they lock that in and what else they choose to go with. Lucian? And Nami.
Yes, and I think
It's
that's
strong lane.
Very, very strong lane. We can see a lot of lane dominance there as well. Yeah. Just with Nami sustain her end, just kind of poke and just that Aqua Prison is so strong if she lands it.
Yeah, it does tell you though that they're probably picking towards disengage here. They have not taken the Morgana, which is open, available, and very, very strong if you're looking for picks or for team fights.
It would work very, very well with the Jarvan and the Maokai that they already locked in. So interesting to see how they play this one out.
May want that.
Yes.
Wouldn't be too surprising. But, of course, Nami does pretty well against Morgana in the isolated support matchup. But obviously, it's all about AD carries as well in bot lane.
Should do right now. Corki, though, we've seen a lot of him. And just in general, like just in general competitive play, he seems to have come back.
Good.
He's just a generally good all-rounder.
Hey,
there's they actually lock in the 2 super tanks of the top lane.
Yeah.
Obviously, Alistair will be going in the bot lane with that Corki.
Yeah.
But again, 70% damage reduction at level 6. Now that is a very, very, very big kind of spike in kind of just tankiness.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that works in the straight-up 2-on-2 matchup, though. Given that Alistar, his mana costs are better now, but his heal mana cost is actually roughly the same as it was. If he is poked out too heavily, and it's likely that's going to happen. Lucian Nami has a lot of poke between them and some pretty decent sustain as well. Then he may start to run into problems. The all-in potential is maybe there, but still quite difficult to land properly pre-6 since you don't have your ultimate to break out of the bubble.
No, but the Zilean, very interesting pick. We've seen a lot of him since Faker played it.
Yeah.
Faker the god.
That guy.
That guy. I quite like it in the sense that there is no Morgana on the other team. There's not going to be, because they have their top lane, they have their support. They technically could go Morgana mid. I very much doubt it. It's not as good as other things that could be open. But I think the Zilean's just going to be harass, good amount of poke, and just keep the AD carry alive.
Yeah, I think that wouldn't be surprising. I mean, what I'd like to see from playing Ducks right now probably is a Yasuo, if you think about it.
Yes, that would work very well.
Really good setup.
Nope.
But no, they're going to take Ahri instead. So
Still very strong.
Undeniably.
Been a bit up and down today. Had good games, bad games.
Yeah, and then I guess I'm not really sure whether Zilean would bully out Yasuo. Probably not, actually.
No.
Yasuo could probably just all in him quite early. But doesn't matter. That's not a relevant fact. Ahri here is going to be playing the mid lane. And as assassin mage mid laners go, she's probably pretty good at dealing with Zilean. Decent wave clear, decent range, and actually a bit of innate sustain, which is quite important against Zilean.
Yeah, but she will have trouble in the early levels, especially with those double bombs being procced every 10 or 12 seconds. It is quite hard for you to deal with a Zilean early on, but as you say, once she gets level 6, she's become quite a mobile assassin, so she should be able to deal with it pretty easily.
Yeah. The trick when you're up against a Zilean in mid lane right now is that what you want to do is to position yourself in a way that he has to choose between bombing you and bombing the minions. That way, if he bombs you, you push the wave, it hits his tower. Zilean is appallingly bad at farming under tower without his bombs available, which means, of course, that he loses out on CS. And even if you're forced to go back, you're still building up an advantage just by virtue of gold and experience. So that's generally what you want to do. Of course, that then leads to, can he position you in such a position that when you're positioning to not get bombed with the minions, you're then in the path of the jungler. So
yeah,
it's a game of
League of Legends.
something like that. Mid laning. Mid
laning 101 with Zilean.
It's all about when the enemy can hit you and when you can hit the enemy.
Yeah. I'm surprised that they went with the Corki to a certain extent, because naturally with all these crazy tanks, come the late game, Alistair, Maokai, Jarvan does get quite tanky in the late game once he's able to get those items. You'd imagine there's a pause, second one of the day, but would imagine they would look for something a little bit more kind of hyper carry-esque almost, just to kind of, you're literally keep him safe and he will clean up everything. A Kog'Maw maybe, a Jinx would also do a similar enough job, but the Corki does fall off a little bit after he's got great burst, he always has, but his sieging and his kind of general kind of hyper carriness is definitely not there.
Yeah, I mean, I can absolutely see where you're coming from here. I think it's basically just because Prathana is a Corki main. It's one of his better champions, and so he's picking that, possibly in the defiance of common sense. I do definitely agree with your point, though. Come late game, they may well lack for damage, especially if you consider the fact that a lot of their burst from Ahri is likely to be nullified by Zilean.
Yeah, as well as that, not only nullified, but by the time we get to that super late game, Banshee's Veils start getting picked up, you get some more innate tankiness within the team. And I don't know, I'm also very curious about the Vi pickup in this whole set, because the whole team from Spartiate kind of says to me that, they're doing a lot of kiting, auto attack, harass, back, auto attack, harass, back, because they have a lot of movement and kind of high mobility. Yeah. The Vi is very much an all-in. I'm going after this person, whereas the team mightn't be able to follow.
Well, typically, if you want to run a heavy kite style with the split push from Nidalee as well, you will want some form of engage. Otherwise, it just becomes that game of, you push out on top, they send someone up to push there, and then you can't engage on them, and they can't engage on you, and you end up with a very, very long and drawn-out battle as that happens. What you want to do, of course, is then to engage with Vi when you've got the numbers advantage, because Nidalee roams down with the teleport or the pounce to get herself down there pretty quickly. And we'll see if that happens. They may have also been picking it away, although, come to think of it, they'd already locked in Jovan, so no, they probably weren't doing that. But Playing Ducks certainly could be up against it, especially if Nidalee does well in the early laning phase.
Yeah, and I think if she's able to bully out the Maokai, make sure that she's getting those auto attacks. I imagine that she will start Doran's Blade, work it into a Triforce, kind of get that early, split push damage down.
I mean, I could always see a Flask start, though.
Yeah, I wasn't actually able to catch it just before we took off the screen.
I didn't see it. I mean, I could
you could have. Yes,
I could imagine that being a logical choice.
Yes, it could also be a very logical choice. I just think that with Maokai, the Doran's Blade would be I just think a little bit more better, just a little bit better, a little bit kind of more sense just to harass him out if she's going for that kind of thing, just to add
the
damage.
question is whether you actually can harass Maokai out,
Yes.
which can prove a little tricky sometimes. But yeah, it really does depend what style you're going for. Flask would definitely be the one if you're looking to sustain through the early laning phase, and Doran's Blade would be what you were looking for the all-in. Nidalee, of course, is probably king of all-ins or queen of all-ins in top lane right now. But Maokai is sort of king of not dying ever.
Yeah, once he hits the late game, he just doesn't die.
I've not actually seen the matchup straight up, so I can't actually really fathom a guess on that front. I could imagine it happening if you land enough spears, but you'd need to land 2 or 3.
Yeah, I imagine that the Maokai will be looking for those big team fights, as we said.
Yeah.
With the Jarvan, with the Alistair, they literally are looking just to run at you and kind of just CC someone up completely so they can't do anything. So it's all about if they can, Spartiate can not get caught. Yeah, if they don't get caught, they should be okay.
Yeah, the interesting thing, of course, is that because they've picked this Alistair support, because they've got such tanky members, it's going to be much harder for Spartiate to avoid potential tower dives. In the early game, dealing with that potential dealing with that in the mid game, really, rather than the early game, is going to be a bit tricky, just because Alistair dives the tower, headbutt pulverize. If you've got a squishy target caught in that, then you have them, basically, at that point. He can tank that tower all day.
Yeah, exactly. And we do see actually Maokai starting with the Crystalline Fax. He's looking for the ultra early sustain. Kind of works out, though, because Nidalee, as we said, went with that Doran's Blade, so she's going to be looking to all-in him, harass him out.
Saying hello.
Yeah.
Something you quite often see Nidalees do, actually, is they start with Q or Trap, sometimes, but Q usually. They sit in that exact brush. They see someone come to check it. They spear them. They auto them with their range form. They switch. They take down with the Cougar form. Half health.
Yeah, it's a great way of early game dominance as well. Like, Maokai did actually go back. Obviously, not going to harm him anyway. The minions haven't spawned yet. Yeah. But spamming out the...
chuckling.
Chuckling. I quite like, though, I think it's quite a good kind of showing of where the meta is going as well with this 4.13 patch. We saw a lot of Rengar before this. Wasn't really working out for a lot of European teams. They weren't really using it to its full potential, kind of wasting its ultimate a little bit. Yeah. So obviously it got nerfed slightly in the 4.14 patch, so people have just literally stopped using it, shied away from it completely. Wasn't banned, hasn't been picked up all day. It's a nice change, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing. I mean, Rengar, so long as he has that ult, will probably be relevant for one reason or another at one point in the meta. But for now, he is not in this game. Alistar is. He is pushing the lane as fast as he possibly can, trying to get that early level 2, because Alistar's all-in is pretty fierce at that level.
He did take his heal, though, to his Triumphant War. So level 1. So he
not
won't,
so fearsome then.
Not so fearsome. He will get a Pulverizer Headbutt just if he needs it, but he'll need to wait to level 3 before actually getting that full all-in potential.
Pro Alistar tips. Disrupt your enemy's last hitting by healing the minions.
That is the most annoying thing for any AD carry right there, is just to just disrupt your last hitting. You think you have it because you've done this a million times over. It's just not going to work. We do see both AD carries hitting level 2 first at the same time, realistically. Yeah, starting to play keep away. Oh, actually, here we go. Shans and Uzi getting caught out. Uzi has the flash, or Shans has the flash away. did have the Ignite running. Actually,
Camera is going wild.
Absolutely crazy. So much action absolutely ever. I'm pretty sure Zilean got caught in the mid lane. He is flashing red. Ignite was used by Ari. He did burn his flash though. So that's why the 3 or 4 different places for the camera to go. It got a bit confused.
Yes, yeah. Zilean is staying in though, so it could be interesting. It might happen again. We're seeing a bit of a harass war going down in that mid lane, and Uzi may be punished here for his invade. Looks like he got out. Lewis flash, but Ari's going.
Oh, Ari missed the charm. She will get the first blood though. No, she won't actually. It will be Uzi picking that one up. A red buff there, proccing nicely. That's a very good first blood there. Very aggressive there from playing Ducks, but it worked out very, very well.
Yeah, honestly, I was a little bit caught off guard, but basically it was working off of the fact that Zilean was already very, very low in the first place. That's why Uzi was able to go for that invade. That's why they were then able to all in him when he put a foot wrong. So they've built themselves that little advantage now. 500 gold.
Oh, there's a pause.
400, which is first blood, plus 100. So.
Yes, a little bit of a CS lead there in the top lane for Nidalee. Small one for Ari and Corki. Very much early days. But we are waiting for the teams now to quickly get back to whatever the problem is. But that's a pretty big loss there for Zilean in the mid lane. He misses a lot of farm. And as he said, he is just useless at farming under tower without his bombs. So Ari's going to be able to push this up, and she's already, as we can see on the mini-map, already pushed this one right the way up, so he's going to have a very tough time in this early laning phase. Yeah,
I mean, he's going to be able to clear this wave most likely. Since Bebe is out of mana, he'll probably back off and recall, but he's got a very good opportunity to do that and should be able to. So, laning phase early on going well for playing Ducks. Top lane, however, worth noting. 9 CS advantage there to the Nidalee. The threat of the all-in, even if she hasn't actually been able to kill him, is fierce.
Nice headbutt pulverize there. Good relentless pursuit to watch the prosperous bomb. They do get a good bubble there onto Fix My Heart, or Fix, yeah, it's Fix My Heart, I'm pretty sure. He changed his name since the last one.
Yeah, he was Seized before, and I think it's still in his name.
Yes, I think it's at the start there. Just about.
It's the benefits of the tournament realm. You have
infinite name changes.
Yeah, you really do. I think you have... It's a weird thing, because they didn't actually give you like an infinite name change button. They just give you 15,000 RP.
Yeah.
You can't use it because you already have everything unlocked.
Yeah, even the stuff that's no longer available.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm quite interested as why this Lucian and Ami isn't doing more. Like, yes, they've caught out Say's once or twice with the product, but he's sustained it back up. As he said, his mana costs aren't that high. As you do see now up in the top lane, Uzi going to be able to call out Spontex. He was pushed up very far. Nice flash away, but the red buff is going to slow him down. He's being taken away. They're going to be able to not, unfortunately, get in range for an attack. Did use the flash in the previous engagement in the jungle. Yeah, they get away. Nice fed buff pulverize. They're going to have to put force there. Here comes the Valkyrie. Now, this is very, very dangerous, though, from Potana. He's going to flash in. They do get the kill, though. He's going to be able to trade it back, though. One more auto attack. He's going to get it. He might keep going onto this. I don't think he's going to be able to kill Alistair, though, just yet. But that was a bit of a win for Sparta.
Yeah, I should have been happy to just let the Nami flash and exhaust and then look to use your summoner advantage later on to create a kill when you had a better situation.
Oh, no. Here we go. Alistair getting caught up there by the Assault Bat, or the Vault Breaker, I should say. They get one more auto attack. He's going to flash for it. Does get that kill. Nicely positioned there by Sean's. He took a tower hit just so that Lucian could flash in because it was a little bit low. Gets another kill, and that's definitely 100%, advantage to Spartiate.
Yeah, very, very nicely done by them. But yeah, I'm still puzzling over that engage, but they will live and learn, or in this case, die and learn, hopefully, or die and not learn. That's the other option.
Yeah, you can still die.
We've now covered all the bases.
Yes, we've covered every single possible outcome of this, of them doing things. But Tana going to be the CS on the tower a little bit. Picked up a Sheen first versus the Bilgewater Cutlass of Lucian.
Interesting to see the Maokai top lane actually force back.
Oh, nice. Oh, the juking. No ult, though. He's going to be able to get it. Oh, will he tech down there? The bomb's going to take him away. Amazing jukes there. Dodges the flag and drag. Dodges the charm. Able to pick up a 1-for-1.
Yeah, Zilean is really fast when he has this movement speed buff on, and He used it to a pretty good effect there, but I was going to say before that happened that it's interesting and rare to see a Maokai forced back like this, and as a result, that's actually delaying his build. He's not going straight Rod of Ages like we usually see on Maokai top lanes. He's been forced to go in for these Doran's Rings because normally you just do not have that problem. And he's suffering
Have we
quite a lot of
found,
auto attacks.
have we found the coveted counter to Maokai top? Is it Nidalee?
Well, maybe, but we'll see how it works out in the long run, because you always have to contend with the fact that Maokai is a phenomenally strong team fighter, whereas Nidalee is less so. In fact, has a straight up 5-on-5 team fighter where you're just getting like a clean engage right from the front line. She's terrible.
Yeah, she is not the greatest. Level 6 hit by Nono. He's got that culling now, in case he ever wants to push the wave. But, no level 6 though from Lunet.
Yeah. Pushing up, clearing waves, chipping down the tower. Swan6 has the pink ward, so he feels a little bit safe up there. But Tri-Brush is the likely area to be attacked.
Triple Doran's Blade though for Spontex. He is really trying to go toe for toe with Shanto as they do go in. There goes Maokai's ultimate there. Gets a nice little bit of mitigated damage as here comes Sean. He's level 6. They're going to go for the dive. They know he has no more ultimate. Here comes Assault and Battery. They're going to be able to get in there. Here comes the Q. Will they go back in onto this? The twisted advantage.
The heal.
The heal works very, very well. Sean's goes down. He might be able to get out to Spontex as well. Jarvan is on the complete other side of the map though. So do see now Pontana forced out of lane. They're actually going to go for Dragon. Jarvan is around the place. They should really know that this is going on. They saw them go towards the Dragon. They haven't come back to lane. They should know this is happening.
Well, the jungler is dead, and there's so much health on the side of playing Ducks that there really isn't much way to move up there and contest it from Sparta. So that botched dive in the top lane has really cost them, and there's now 1,400 gold between them. Nice judgment of the blue timer there, but I guess it's easier nowadays that you can just press tab and see it.
Yeah, bit of controversy over that. People weren't, hugely happy about it.
I think people have settled down about it.
I think
now.
so. Yeah, I think they realize that it's not as huge a deal as it used to be before it was brought in. But level 6 now for Alistair. He is just Corky might die, but Alistair's not dying anytime soon.
No, that is not happening realistically. Of course, the CC break does not work on Cataclysm. As long as you wait out the ultimate from Alistair, you can potentially get something.
I'm sure he hasn't got to worry about Cataclysm.
Well, he might get stuck on his own team.
True. He shouldn't really be getting stuck, though.
Realistically speaking, it shouldn't happen. No, but I mean, we've seen odder things.
That's true. We have. We see now. No turrets taken yet. Dragon was taken relatively early enough, though, with the failed dive in the top lane.
So, Shantao is now starting to get to a point, it seems, where Spontex is having trouble pushing him out. So that could become an issue for them in the long run here. To consider the fact that most likely Spontex is going to want to build quite high damage. In fact, has already built quite high damage with triple Dorans and a Sheen, but is probably going to want to build at least 2 damage items in the long run anyway. Then it could become an issue for him if Shantao is able to tank through that damage and then turn around with just a bit of chipping damage, but that's all it needs as long as you can't push him out.
Yeah, use the twisted advance. Going to go in with the ultimate. Shantao going to be able to pop that as well. Just got a fairly even trade. Has got his Catalyx now, but Luna caught out there. Good flash away. Does get caught out by the Cataclysm though. Tidal Wave's going to come out, but nothing really. Actually, a full culling to the face to Jarvan there. He'll be able to get away fairly easy. As we do see now. No, he used his Relentless Pursuit. Forced the flash though. That's a very fast cow trying to come at him. They might even try to use it a little bit there. The cameraman going mad at the moment, the directed cameras. We do see Shanto and Spontex going in, but in the mid lane, Bebe does get the charm off onto Sean's. He may be able to turn this around actually. There's a lot of damage. Not really going to be anything else, but they're going to try top turret there for potentially bot turret. I don't think really No really wants to stick around here. Hasn't got his flash, hasn't got his heal. He's going to back away, but I don't think they're going to get the turret either.
Nami is nearly there. The minions are running out, so yeah, No will return. And you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful when you're Alistair, actually, not to do what he just did and screw up the WQ combo by trying to mash Q too early before you've even launched the bovine ballistic. It takes a little bit of time. if you press Q beforehand, then you end up looking like a bit of a chump.
Yeah, it's not the smartest of things when it happens. You know, you
You feel like a fool.
You feel like a fool.
I'd say it's not that you are a fool necessarily. It's an easy mistake to make, but it happens.
Yeah. Oh, he actually got that one right, though. Good phosphorus bomb as well. They're actually going to go hard onto this. There is no tidal wave. Here comes the ultimate, though, from Alistair. He is so tanky. He's not even taking damage at all. He's going to keep going. His ultimate's going to run out, though. They concentrated so much on him. There's a relentless pursuit. They're going to use more and more on him. The bomb's not really hitting. Vi has stuck himself down. Here comes Jarvan, though. They are going to try trade off on this damage. Everybody going ham at the moment. They need something. Oh, no, Alistair, you've left yourself completely wide open. He has no ult. He has no flash. He's going to go down. Good ultimate there from Sean. Zillion even dropped down. They're probably going to push for tower.
Looked like a bit of a miscommunication there because Jarvan turned up for the situation and ended up getting headed off by Vi. But Sazed looked like he wanted to try and turn it around for the arrival of Jarvan, but didn't seem to be aware that Jarvan had been waylaid on his way. So as a result, ended up dead, achieving very little, whereas it would have just been an everybody disengage situation normally. And they get the tower for it. We'll be trading the mid though.
Now, losing mid lane tower, I'm not sure if that's worth, because that just opens the map now for Bebe to just roam around, get a couple of kills if he can, get a couple of charms, just put pressure on this kind of, you know, side of Sparta as they do wait to try and get a blue buff invade. Very brave though if they did.
I mean, there is one thing, of course, in the objective trade there, which is that Bebe has been pushing up mid lane very, very heavily and actually done quite a bit of damage to the tower already. So even though the gold is equivalent, it isn't necessarily equivalent in the amount of time you have to commit, and time is money, so you have to take that into account, friend. Looks like bottom tower will be dropping as well.
Yeah. Actually, while that was all happening in the bot lane, it was Spontex who got the kill, or not the kill, the steal on the red buff, but Fix My Heart had just got caught there. They are going to keep going onto this. He's got a lot of relentless pursuits. His ult is not up yet. They are going to be able to get the kill. Wow, that was a very much a overextension there from Alistair, and he pays a very big price.
Well, he did it to save the life of his AD carry there.
True.
Prathana overstayed to hit the tower one more time.
Corki did have flash, though.
I guess, yeah, it would have been worth, but he headbutted in to try and save his AD carry, which is an admirable sentiment, even if it wasn't necessarily the perfect call to have actually made, if he had been able to consider all of the cooldowns on all of his teammates as well. But that is communication for you, and it was not information that was communicated appropriately. However, mid tower goes down, and Dragon is spawning in 2 seconds.
Doesn't go down just yet. Oh, that's a great move there. Actually runs into the Lunat. They are going to get another bomb onto him. He's just going to take down. There it is. The most depressing thing ever when your jungler goes down just as the Dragon spawns. They also lose mid tower, so this could be a very, very bad thing. Very bad passage of play, though, from playing Ducks.
No ultimate on Ari either. I'm really not sure they can even try to contest this, but looks like they intend to.
Yeah, they're going to. That's a great pulverize, though. He's going to pop the ultimate. They're going to try to get away from this. Spontex gets caught up, though, in the middle of it. They actually jump in with Sean. They're trying to get so much more down. There's the ultimate from Zillion. He mitigates nearly everything. They are trying to keep going onto this. Maokai, who will be focused there by Lucian. He goes down, as well as Vi. They are still going, though. They haven't focused down Protana. He's still going as well. They're going to turn on to. They have a really split focus. They do eventually get the double kill. They might try to turn on the Spontex. He gets something. There's no more mana, though, for Protana. He might go back in. Why would you do this? Protana picks up a second kill. I have no idea what Spontex was doing. There was no reason to try kill steal that.
No, absolutely not. They're really... He had flash. He could have flashed away. It would have been very, very easy to do. I mean, fair play to playing Ducks there, though. They made that engage work as a 4v5, took advantage of the AoE they had from Maokai and from Alistar, and as a result, they were able to win that, in spite of it being what looked to me like an less than ideal fight. This may be a kill.
No, I don't think so. He's got a Spirit Rush back up there, but it's a sneaky Dragon there by playing Ducks. It actually ends up with them getting ahead, the second Dragon for them. They stalled it out long enough, and I gotta fault Spontex completely. If he hadn't have died and they just took the kill on Corki, they could have 100% gone for that Dragon, taken it very, very quickly. Even though Sean's wasn't there, they pretty much could have taken it, so I gotta call him out on that.
Yeah, it was certainly an unnecessary death. Now, Schleyer has also taken quite a lot of damage, but I think Sparta should be able to back away fairly safely here.
He had his ult. So he wasn't too dangerous for him. He has got his tier stacking though, so he will get that shield eventually once he upgrades it to a Seraph's Embrace.
He's going for the highly utility-focused build here. Double mana items. He's going for the Athene's Unholy Grail and the tier, and also for a Ionian Boots of Lucidity build rather than Sorcerer's Shoes, since it gives you those the rewinds up all the time. And that means, of course, all your other skills come up more often, which is wonderful in the case of your ultimate, especially since you get it down to like an effectively 30-second cooldown, I think.
Yeah, something like that. It's annoyingly quick.
It's very, very low at the higher ranks. Of course, it does need you to get your rewind to max rank and your ultimate to max rank and 40% CDR. So CDR may be nearly done. In fact, it's already done. But it'll be a little bit of time before the rest of those factors come online.
You see now Culling you coming out there from No. It's going to be able to get a little bit of damage. There's not really a lot they could do with this. Charm comes out, so that could be a little bit of an instigation there to try and go for the tower. They do run out of minion waves. Spontex.
That was some odd positioning that Playing Ducks chose not to punish because of the positioning and the health, specifically of Prathana. But had that been a normal situation, that would have been a very dead Nidalee.
Yeah. They know Vi, though, is trying to get that big Wraith. I did see the animation from the concussive blows. Again, they're just trying to seize this up. Prathana's come back, though, with full mana and full health. Jarvan is backing off, so they haven't really got his engaged now.
One at a time, they sidle back into lane. But Sparta wasn't making much progress anyway, so as far as they're concerned, I suppose it's just an excuse to go shop. Whereas Sparta had not shopped. Sparta is not a place for shops, really.
No, not the best place for shops. As we do say now, Sean gets caught up. He does get the does not get the ultimate though from Zilean. As we do see them now going in. Spontex completely caught out of position. They're trying to get this back now. They do get so much damage. There's so many things happening now. Spontex goes down. Nami goes down as well. Alistair is so tanky. He's going to try to keep going onto this. Only No and Slayer alive. This could be Baron. There is only 2 people alive, but it'd be very, very dodgy if they try to go for it, considering how early it is. Not only that, but Zilean could just bomb them out of it.
Yeah, that is not an option for them, but Alistar was trying to get in for the Pulverize combo, but did not get it. However, the siege here should result in a tower. I really don't see any way to plausibly defend this. They do need to get back themselves, though, because if they get poked down too low and get prevented from recalling for long enough, there's always that threat of the opponents rushing the Baron. Wouldn't expect that to happen either, but
No.
it's always something you want to consider as an option. You never know when your opponents are crazy.
Actually, just as you said it, they all seem to be heading towards that Baron pit. They seem to be doing it right now.
I don't think it's a good idea.
I think it's a terrible idea now because Shanto is still around the place. They put a ward down into it. This is a terrible...
It's just too early.
It's far too early now.
They're taking a lot of damage.
Positive.
Like, if no one was there, they could absolutely do it.
Absolutely.
Although maybe he just disconnected.
Yeah, maybe he didn't mean to go.
Like, he right-clicked on it and it disconnected, and then he just walks all the way to the Baron pit.
They're just following it. But actually, this might be a bad bait in the sense that if you look at the lanes, apart from bot lane, every lane is pushing up against a tower. There's a lot of farm to be lost by just baiting out this Baron. They don't have to take this. They can take 2 or 3 shots from this, kill the ward, and then back away because then Playing Ducks have to react to it. So they could lose a bit of gold from this. If that's the mindset.
That might well be something they do here. That would be not a terrible idea. The problem with that, though, is that Playing Ducks only need to commit 1 or 2 people to actually just make this a very high-risk option for Sparta to take. You can see Ahri right now and Jarvan, they know what's going on. They're still doing the blue buff because they know they're safe here. So Ahri can do the blue buff and then go mid, and they can send someone top while that's going on, rotate. So as long as they've got 2 people in the rough area, they're pretty much safe. And I really don't think Sparta will stay after this pause timer is done.
I think they'll look at their current situation right now and just go, maybe not.
It's not looking that tempting.
No, it's not. We haven't really got the vision to be to find this. Actually, speaking of vision, there's very little vision for anybody. I think there's only about 3 wards on the map. That's about it. So this is a very dodgy. Considering that the both blue and red buff are up for Spartiate, they could really go back, just clear their jungle, go push a lane, because right now there's nothing. And then bot lane is pushing as well. There's a huge amount of money to be had for them without risking a lot.
Yeah, Spartiate right now, I really am starting to lend more and more credence to the idea that Sean's actually did just DC and hence aggro the Baron, but we guess we may find out when he gets back in and they immediately run away, but that wouldn't necessarily tell us. It doesn't make sense, though, for them to stay, if having seen that ward placed over the wall. Even with very little vision overall.
And with a 20-minute Baron, and you're not exactly ahead right now.
No, there we go.
They're back away. This actually could be the great bait. We do see now Nono getting jumped on. They do actually take out Shanto. Nono goes down in the fight, though, as well. Uzi going to try to jump in. He misses the flag and drag, though. This could be very, very terrible. He could get this Cataclysm onto Sean's. He's caught in a rock and a hard place. They're trying to jump onto Bebe. He's going to get away. Protana is still very, very healthy. He Valkyrie's over. This is going to be a dead Slayer. It's a double kill. I don't think they're going to go for Baron.
No, they tried to turn it around. They tried to then make an engage from that Baron position that they were in, but they ended up getting chunked out very, very early. The priority targets were taken down.
Oh, wow, that damage.
Takedown.
Takedown indeed. They do take down Alistair. They end up trading it 3 for 2. I'm pretty sure that was. Yes, Nami, Zillion, and Vi going down. Actually, it was a 4, was it? 4 for 2, it might have been.
It was a 4 for 2, yeah.
Yeah, 4 for 2. That it's a consolation, but
it's not a good trade.
No, never a good trade, really, when you think about it. As Lunat still very, very squishy, kind of going for the Mikhail's Crucible. As we're going to see the charm, not going to quite hit. Feel like he should have threw that a little bit earlier.
Maybe. I guess he wanted to get right in position. The charm can only barely make it to the other side there, so I guess we're trying to line it up, but no great loss either way. Wasn't going to get the kill at the time. Could have been a bit of damage. Push her out, but nothing more.
This is an interesting build now from Ari. Going with the
standard mage.
Very standard mage. And we talk about Ari having amazing assassin potential, but we go in. Uzi actually doesn't get hit by the Q, but they are going to get the assault and battery. It's going to be a dead Uzi. He already used his flag. He's not going to be able to flash either. I think he tried, did he? His splash cooldown is...
He flashed, but he didn't flag and drag.
No, he didn't flag and drag. But then Nono using his ultimate there, actually so close to taking down Bebe. They might just try siege up this mid lane. There is very little mana, though, on Nono, so he won't be able to get those double tap passives off. It's probably as much as he likes.
Well, you can get the dash still. That's free at this point. And indeed at every point of the game nowadays. But the weird thing here, though, is that this is basically a lesson in why you need to make sure you've got wards all over the place, because people are just lacking in any kind of vision and hence walking into people. That is a very perilous thing to be doing. And looks like Sparta will convert that into the dragon. I really don't see any possible contest, and Playing Ducks are not likely to be following Sparta's example by trying to force a Baron quite early into the game. 23 minutes is a little more reasonable than the 20 minutes we had earlier, but still wouldn't expect them to rush over there.
No, I wouldn't. Actually, you say that.
Apparently, this is the curse of the new curse of the commentator. I still don't think they will do it here. Most likely, this is a bait. They're going to try and pick someone off because there's no vision in that area. None at all.
Absolutely not. Honestly, if I was Sparta, I would be definitely feeling this is a 100% bait. But they're actually going for a little bit of a different kind of bait. They're not going into the death bush. Here we go. Flag and drag from Uzi. That's a good tidal wave, though. Completely disengages the fight. Nothing else happens.
Yeah, uses the cooldown. Kind of worth it from their perspective. Spontex did manage to sneak in the meantime, and I believe he has, if not placed a ward, he'll have placed a trap. That's not something you can get rid of very easily at all. So, Playing Ducks are going to be recalling here en masse by the looks of it. And Sparta are playing it cautious around that bush, with the exception of Spontex, who is continuing to play like a bit of a loon.
Yeah. Spontex seems to be kind of a bit over-aggressive. I think, yes, he is obviously
it's
ahead.
kind of his style.
It is his style, but yes, he is ahead of Maokai quite significantly. He has got about a 2,000 gold lead. Well, 1,500 gold lead, so it's still very significant considering Maokai hasn't even built that many items yet. But he still needs to be very careful. Bebe is still very
Maokai,
strong.
Though.
Oh no, here we go. Actually critted there. That was a good bit of damage there. They're going to try to keep going, but it's going to be another trade here. Lunak going in. He will go down. He gets the ultimate from Zillion. I don't think that was really worth it. He's going to go down anyway. Gets the Mikhails is going to delay him even further. They're trying to get more. Spontex, what are you doing? They need to be careful. Charm is just come back up. They get a full culling off. It doesn't really hit anybody. They're trying to go back up the Shantao. He is the tanky member. He is not the one you want to be focusing. No takes a big bomb to the face. He gets a relentless pursuit out though of the Cataclysm. Uzi trying to go in. They get some nice AoE bombs. Shans was in the absolutely wrong place at the wrong time. That could be Baron.
I'm still not sure.
No, they can never
I still don't
be.
think they will. But it's just a couple of catches here and there, and that time, of course, it was it's much harder to avoid Sparta's chase down. They've got Zillion for movement speed, and they've got Vi to lock people down, but they didn't even actually use Vi's ultimate to get the initial catch here. Shantao should live. Probably.
This is perfect for them, though, because they have no idea that this Baron's zone. Spontek's going to go in. This could be very dangerous role for playing Ducks. Spontex likes to play aggressive. He could jump in. He does get headbutted away, though. It's Baron going exceptionally low. They are going to get fixed by Heart. It hasn't gone low enough yet. They're just trying to get more and more picks. They do get a good tidal wave, though. Here comes the culling from over the wall. He's going to get on the Protana. He has nowhere to go. He's going to try to jump in. It's a double kill. He gets away from it as well. It's a good flash there from Luna to give him the heal. They jump on the Shantao.
They're trapped.
He used a teleport to try and get in. That's a triple kill onto Spontex. We talked about his over-aggressive behavior. He might actually go for the Penta. We know he's that kind of player. It's going to be No-No, though. Taking the aggro. He gets shut down, though. It's the ultimate there from... Oh! Uzi gets caught out. It's the ace. That was huge. They got the Baron. They get a pause, but they lost everything.
I still don't support the Baron call. They're just not working out. On that occasion, that was partly down to just good play from Spontex. I was expecting it to be like a 2 or a 3 kills tops, but he was aggressive, but he's very good with his aggression. He's very, very relentless, I suppose is how I'd put it. He keeps chasing down. He's very well aware of where everyone is, and he tries to line it up so he gets as many kills as possible. Nidalee, in particular, is extremely good at cleaning up in that scenario over longer distances. You throw the spears, you get the increased dash on your Cougar form pounce, you get the takedown, easy kills. So just line those up, set those up, got himself, and by extension his team, quite a few kills. And of course, in the end, they were cut off from their base as well, since they were...
That was very good team communication right there. They knew that Corki would probably just Valkyrie over the wall. Knowing that the culling came over, Corki was thinking, oh, I can't go that way. So he was forced to Valkyrie over, trying to get the kill. Great flashes, though, coming out from Spontex and Nami, trying to make sure, or Lunet, I should always remember his name, able to keep him alive with the heal, with the general disengage there. Lucian comes in, so does Zillion. Sleia puts down the ultimate on Lucian so he can be as aggressive when he goes onto Corki. They just caught out Jarvan there as he's recalling, and overall, I called that they might do Baron. I never said it was a good call.
No, and I'm glad you didn't commit on that. Oh, hello, pause again.
Nope, we're paused again. I think to just try to get back to this. Sean seems to be having a little bit of trouble, but this is... Lucian at the moment, just with his items, is a little bit stronger than Corki. Once Corki gets his BT, then yes, you can argue that he's a bit stronger there. He has his shield. But just because he had the Yomus and the Bork straight up, it was very, very easy for them to kind of push that in. But we do have the pause back out now. Sean's, I think he's all right. But look at the waves, though. A lot of the waves are pushed already up to the towers, and only Alistair there to defend.
Yeah, Sparta actually right now are not necessarily doing things the way I would recommend, in that they're not rushing straight for the towers immediately. Buffs are very much a second or third priority kind of objective. But they went for the red buff first, they got that. And they didn't maybe have the time to pick up that second tower anyway. Arguably could have sent Spontex to get some damage on that top one. But regardless, take away both buffs. Take away the Baron buff that every single player had and then promptly lost. And accept your extra gold.
Yeah, they've actually brought the gold to within 600. Well, 600 or 700 as it kind of goes in between farms. But that's pretty big, actually. I do say that Corki was going to go for a BT. He actually went straight up for an IE. That's a pretty big damage spike for him. But already we see the makings of an IE nearly finished for Lucian.
I think at this stage of the game we can definitely state that Lucian has significantly more gold invested in him at the moment and is fairly, I'm fairly sure he's quite a bit stronger.
Actually, they're nearly
very
exactly
similar.
I think that's
That
more.
doesn't look like it adds up to my mind.
No, it
but
doesn't.
my
The
mind is
dragons.
bad at maths.
It could be the dragons.
Yeah.
There was a lot of dragons. Plus, as well, he is sitting on 5 assists. Well, I
I guess
suppose-
they did get the Baron as well.
Yeah, they got the Baron.
Even if they lost the buff. So, yeah, okay, fair enough. At this stage, I'd still say Lucian is probably likely to do more damage. Simply based on the fact that his Youmuu's is going to give him quite a lot of damage off of his culling, which means he can be much more safe when he's putting out that damage. So he can do it from a much longer range. He doesn't need to be like all in the same way that a Corki does. But, of course, at this stage, whichever AD carry gets caught out is going to have problems.
Speaking of caught out, Jarvan has to use his Flag and Drag. He loses his Banshee's Veil. Not a huge cooldown, but he won't have that just in case. As you see now, Shantou Spontex, nice pounce away, was able to keep the tower unaggroed. That's going to be another tower in the bot lane, and you'd swear that Sparta took the Baron because they're just pushing objectives right now.
Well, they more or less did. They certainly took the Baron fight. I can't tell you that they took it.
Took the Baron away anyway.
Yes, they definitely did do that. So, yeah, they're now in a pretty good situation, actually, for themselves. Their 4-man team functions a lot better than their opponents.
Oh no, Schleia gonna be caught out there, has to use the ultimate. They are gonna try to save him there. It's a good Nami ult, actually a great Nami ult. As we do see Sean's trying to jump in, trying to save Schleia, but it was Luna who gets caught out, so 2 people die for the mid laner of Zilean. As we get so much more craziness, Maokai goes down at the top lane, Zilean goes down as well, so it ends up being a 3-for-1, but they are gonna get a tower off this, and there's no real objective. Maybe Dragon that they can trade back, but they have to deal with Spontex.
Again, a messy situation, though, with people being caught out. Again, Lunette was trying to save Schleia, and you're Zilean, really. In Schleia's situation, he should not realistically be being caught very much. He's very, very fast. I mean, he doesn't have a direct escape, but they've got wards in that area. How was he blindsided? And then when they tried to save him with Lunette, Lunette ended up getting caught by Alistar, punted into the middle of the team as well. That made the 2 kills. So even though Spontex individually outplayed and got the kill and got the tower, that was almost like an independent instance of action than what happened in that mid lane area, which was really, really dodgy stuff once again from Sparta.
Nidalee went with a Frozen Heart. Now, there's not a lot of auto attack damage. It's a lot of bursts, a lot of abilities. There's not really that much
CDR,
auto
I
attack.
guess.
CDR and a little bit of mana, but that is a huge amount of damage onto Uzi. Oh, the flash pulverize does not hit. The Frozen Sage is gonna go down though, absolutely destroyed by Nono. Completely overcommitting. They're going to jump onto the tank, though. I don't think it's a wise idea, but it's another great tidal wave to try and disengage. They get the ultimate onto Sean's. But this is a really, really terrible fight right now. Nidalee was not part of this. Protana is going to be taken down. Lucian Nono is just huge right now. He's got double buffs. He's not going to get another one. It's going to be Nidalee who takes on that one. They end up trading it 4-for-2. Seemed like a very overextension, but they made it work in the end.
And that's the situation where a Lucian is really, really terrifying. It is appropriate to his ability names, and they may actually keep pushing here. I doubt they're going to be able to finish this, but they may be able to get extra towers here. The main point here, though, is that if Lucian is left pretty much alone for most of the fight and is constantly dashing to get the resets and the double shots on his auto attack, his damage output is actually very, very comparable to that of, I don't want to say a hyper carry, but a very powerful late game damage threat it makes him. And that was very much a showcase. Yep. Good timer.
Very good timing.
Also, AD carry is pink warding. Take note, solo queue.
Didn't kill the camp, though, so he's not going to have the timer.
It's fine.
Well,
He's got vision of it. He'll
if
know when they
if
clear it.
If they clear the pink ward first, he won't. Technically, he could
Realistically,
estimate. He could estimate.
He knows.
He knows now. There you go.
Yep.
There you go. Another pro tip for solo queuers.
There you
Always
go.
check the bush. Always.
There might be someone in the bush, though, for all you actually know at that point. So, pro tip, no, don't always check the brush.
No, don't always
It
face
might
check.
kill you. 40 seconds till the Baron here, so this is now a vision control fight. That is the time, actually, where most likely you are to run into a pick situation.
Yeah, and actually the Flag and Drag had to be used there to try and get away. Shantou, with his ultimate up, is not going to do much. It's a great tidal wave to try and middle gate. Shantou is going to go down. Nidalee picks up that one. That's a good kill. Whoa! Vi going all the way back to the back line. She will be able to kill him, though. Just about. It's just Alistair now waiting to get into the lane. They are trying to get Ari and Uzi off to the side. Bebe is still very much healthy. Takes out Nami. They are going to be able to take out Uzi as well. But Ari and Alistair on the complete wrong side of this fight. They might actually push for towers here. They could get the top lane definitely if they push it.
Spontex is very, very tanky as well, though. So remember, they may be able to take this tower at the very least. If they take one tower, two towers can fall very easily. Ari is the only realistic, really good defender at this point with damage.
Yeah, there we go. Actually, no, it's going to be taken down, but he has got the Zillion ultimate. They take down Alistair. That cooldown is ridiculous. She does take out Vi. There's another turret going down. This is pretty much going to be Dame, as Alistair did go down as well. They're trying to save
is it, though?
Is it? It pretty much is there. No, it's going to be going in. There it is. GG, well played. Coming out for both teams. That was a very well played game by Spartiate.
Yeah, so there was, again, okay, so it was very well played in the team fights, I'd honestly say. There was still some dodgy decision making. There was still some weird objective prioritization and things like that. But their team fight was so good, especially that last one, where we saw basically a ton of focus dropped on Lucian. He was a little bit extended, as Lucian is wont to do. But then, of course, you have the Zillion. He baited in all that focus, forced the commitment from their opponents, and then, of course, got straight back up again, whilst Vi was also diving and killing Corki at the same time.
That was an amazing dive. He went very far.
He went a long way. That doesn't necessarily make for a good dive, but in this case,
Valkyrie
it did,
plus
because
Flash.
he was already a bit low. So, yeah, they were able to make that work for themselves very, very effectively. They got a lot of kills at the end in that last fight, and Bebe was also zoned into a bit of an odd situation. He had to try and come in from the side, but there was an awful lot of tanky fellows in the way,
as well as minions kind of blocking the charm.
I'd
say if he had landed a good charm on a carry at that point, they might
it might have made the difference between losing and winning, or not losing and winning, losing and not losing.
Yes, losing
at that exact point. So that's how it is, but that will be it for us for today. That's Playing Ducks.
Spartiate 2
Playing
go
Ducks.
through. Playing Ducks are out.
Yes.
Playing Ducks are eliminated now. They did go to the
sad.
double elimination. They are gone. So it will be Spartiate to play the loser of Ninjas in Pajamas versus SK Prime. That is a match I am very much looking forward to. As well as that, we have H2K versus N Faculty, and the loser of that will play Isuba in the losers bracket. And then, of course, we obviously have more to come after that in the coming days, with the grand final being on Sunday. So we have a lot of good games coming up.
Yeah, and we should be starting to really get into the meat of the favorite teams.
Yes,
the
fan
starting
favorites.
to match up against each other. Ninjas in Pajamas, SK Prime, H2K, and then Faculty are my personal top 4 of this tournament so far.
They are still technically in the top 4.
They are certainly the better known teams at the very least. We might see some stuff out of Isuba. We'll see if they can recover from their first defeat. But
hard to see them doing well, if I'm honest. But you never know.
We will see.
We will see. It is a best of one. Anything can happen.
Yeah, of course. So that's it for us for today. If you've enjoyed this tournament so far, if you've enjoyed the games you have seen today, feel free to check out FACEIT's. FACEIT's community pages actually are, I believe, facebook.com/FACEIT, I
think so.
But certainly, check out FACEIT itself. You can find that at a very intuitive web address. If not, Google it. But certainly, FACEIT, a service which enables you to play against teams of a very similar skill to you, matches you up. You can actually do 1v1s and 2v2s and all sorts of different numbers and 3v3s, I dare say.
I actually genuinely didn't know that. I thought it was just team stuff. So there
it does do that. And then there are leagues for that. There are prizes associated with your league. And it matches you with players of a similar skill. So do that if you can. Also check out TeamSpeak and Overwolf, who are the sponsors for this tournament. Thank you for having us for that. If you've enjoyed my casting, feel free to follow me at Spuddington on Twitter. And I believe you would be at
LolBloodPenguin.
At LolBloodPenguin. So that is it for today. We will see you tomorrow.